Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
This is a young man who has a lot of quiet confidence in his abilities. He won't shout it from the rooftops, but if you ever talk to him, you sense it, and you start to get it. In fact, I asked him about his mobility, and he said, well, I did run for over 1,500 yards in college. That was an easy answer from him.
Now a first carry for Javonte Brown. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton, and the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Hands up, lead!
Check, watch the before.
He don't know no better. Hands up!
Right there, 54.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Watch the screen. Pass. Kill.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Hands up, lead!
Mike's 56. All day.
Hands up!
Mixon with a first down carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second down now, Bernard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And now to the air, Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Jaworski Tartt came out of Samford University in Alabama. And he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the catch good, it's Eifert. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. On first down, Garoppolo. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy is covering you. He's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Here we go, here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Garoppolo looks to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Dalton. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run on first down. Bernard, and he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And Dalton's throw on target to Tyler Boyd, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one a first down pickup of 8. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Dalton now to pass. Got his man, it's Eifert. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Joe Mixon, and an alley to run. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Mixon with it. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Dalton here from the gun. Got a man open. It's Ross. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he? He's able to get that 2nd chance so quickly after the first miss. Gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 31, Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield and broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that, Burrow?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then it curls back inside for the completion.
Here we go. 180!
Watch a slap, watch a slap, watch a slap.
Say hot!
50 cents.
Say hot!
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, He was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Just like that. Just like that.
On second down, it's Coleman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go.
57, the mic. Blue Dan.
Garoppolo on first down. And Sanders has got it complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
To throw is Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
That's the end of the first quarter, with the score tied 3-3.
These two teams all tied after one.
Robbie Gould on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
And Gould is able to put it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And this is going to be 49er football.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Golden is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
Break this up. Lead. 54 miles.
On second down, Mixon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Niners on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at third and a few inches. Here's Dalton. And Tate's got it.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
A gain of 7. First down, Cincinnati.
Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. On the draw, here's Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He gets this one to Boyd. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Passing, it's Dalton. And his throw is incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe he starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he was with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy is on fire.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here we go. 180.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On second down and 4, Garoppolo. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Garoppolo's pass thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Here we go.
The Niners on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to Coleman. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Andy Dalton now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only 1 incompletion. And another 1st and 10 here. To throw here, Dalton throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Dalton gives to Bernard. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A draw play, Bernard. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock.
Here we go.
He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go. 180.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
It's caught by Sanders. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Get ready.
All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Dalton saying, let's get going here, guys, as he rallies them to get set. Throwing on 2nd down. Dalton. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. On 3rd down, Bernard. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Good move at the 30. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Garoppolo now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Play action. Garoppolo trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. It's caught by Coleman. Three receivers head out right, one to the left on 2nd and 3. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gold is able to put it through. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Vigil coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Geno Atkins got home that time. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On first down, Bernard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and inches, Dalton. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down.
Press up, lead.
Silver.
He completes it to Boyd. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Wait!
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Dalton, and his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Bullock's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals getting set to go. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Dalton now to pass. He completes it to Tate. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A quick throw now complete to Ross. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run it here with Brown. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here we go.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. On play action. Now Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come.
I'm going back to you.
Got the connection here to Bourne. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Here we go. 180.
50 seconds to Mike. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Open man is Bourne. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Coleman. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! I'm coming for you. You mine! Ted!
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go. 180!
Hey, I'm coming, I'm coming.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's going to go down again. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton, and the catch good. It's Eifert. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. This is Mixon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Dalton, and that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. Big Geno Atkins here to bring him down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. Well, that's complete to Sanders. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Coleman. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds and keeps the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Here we go. Like 20.
Go, go, go.
Set hunt.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Coleman. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Jordan Evans on the tackle. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 36-yard line.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Jim.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
By Nick Vigil. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The kidder here, it's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 19.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mostert, fighting off the defender. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the 1st battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Coleman now. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2.
Crunch time, defense.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Dalton here from the gun. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Check. Watch 54.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Eric Armstead, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Dalton. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, and it's 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 19. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. George Kittle and the Niners ready for their next drive. And we see here the productivity certainly has decreased from the start of the game, but sometimes people forget these tight ends, they can do more than just catch the football.
That is so true, because now when things start to happen and you're not getting the ball as much, maybe you change your focus on the game. Maybe you become a very good decoy. Maybe you block a little bit more. But sometimes you have such a great first half, you expect it to continue to roll, and it doesn't just happen that easily in the second.
Now they have been able to shut him down, at least as of late. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You better be afraid of me.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. His longest run of the game right there, and a pretty good time for it. A huge 3rd down conversion late.
Love the mindset. Love the way he flipped the switch late in the game, needed a big run, and helped produce it with great leverage from the offensive line. But you also know what happens, too. The defense stacks the line. So if you can break through that first barrier, there's usually plenty of room to run.
Here we go. Wait, hey,
man. Watch the boot.
Now Mostert. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now they hand off to Coleman. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here we go. 180.
50 seconds to my
On first down, Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Andy Dalton on the screen, Bernard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
24 is the mic.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First and goal, Cincinnati.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And it'll be Dalton again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Don't be scared.
Another chance for Dalton. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Auden Tate there to make the grab. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. It is true, the lead cut to 10, 23-13. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on 1st down. Coleman. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here we go. Black 80. 57. We ain't giving up nothing today. Check 4. Check 4.
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought two words for this ball game: methodical and predictable, and both of them came together.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.